Bad Girl Mystic here. So what we are going to do today together is we're going to do some full moon alchemy and how to connect and sync that full moon alchemy with the current chakra cycle that we're in, the power chakra. So as you can see right now, I started invoking the energy of the power chakra with doing some yellow blocking on my moon page. I like to color the moon page on the full moon in the Magical Planner 2020 Coloring Book of Shadows by Amy Cesare. So this is the book that I work with as for my alchemy, where I get guidance and inspiration and tips, as well as a place to funnel my attention and my energy so that I'm not like spraying and spelling, you know what I mean? Or spraying and praying. When I used to be an NLP trainer and practitioner, there was an exercise where you would ask people who were in conflict. Part of me wants this, part of me wants that. And you'd ask them to invite each part out on your hands. And you'd say, okay, you know, part of me wants this. What's in this hand? What does it look like? What is the vision? What does I want? What is the drive? And this other part of me is in conflict and is afraid and doesn't think it's a good idea. This is side protecting me. This is my heart's focus and desire. And as we go through and, you know, and we look at it and we name it, we name that shadow, we look at that shadow and we ask it, you know, what does it need to feel safe, to feel protected? And we ask the heart's desire, you know, what is it that you need to move forward? And what happens is as the person's talking, you slowly start to see their body language express what we would call their alignment of attention and intention together. And it would become then a congruent belief. Now, then you would ask them to set it into a goal. So in Amy's book here, when she does the full moon pages, on the opposite she puts like, what's your inspiration, what's your reflection, what's your vision and intention, what are important things, what are your goals? And they say get specific with goals, and there's all kinds of formula, and I'm not even going to go into that right now because what we're talking about is moon alchemy and how it relates to the power chakra. But what happens with goals is, you know, I have right here what came up for me in my full moon reading was why limit myself. So full moons are great for reevaluating your vision, reevaluating what is your intention behind your spells, behind your rituals. Where do you want to direct your magic? Are you limiting yourself? Yesterday I shared the third chakra question because we're dealing with our core, our power center, and our core is where our organs are housed, where the systems that run our earthship are housed. And there is these powerful stomach muscles and back muscles that encompass and hold it like a cauldron, our life force. When there's a crack in your cauldron, when you're leaking out power, then it creates instability, what is also known as a weakness. There is, your attention is spilling out everywhere. In Eastern medicine, it's your dantian. So if you're doing Tai Chi, we were taught Tai Chi before we learned body work. I went to IPSB, which is a somatic bodywork school. And so if your pelvic bowl was wonky, low back pain, right? Where's your posture? How are you stacked in your bones? How are you aligned in your bones? And sometimes when we are out of alignment, we need to dive deep and do a cleaning of the bones. where there is gook and stuck tissue that's dehydrated and malnourished, and we need to move it out. So we need to cleanse. So yesterday I shared Coventina. So the power chakra, you hear a lot of people, oh, do liver cleanse, do this cleanse, do that cleanse. I used to teach digestive health for a living. What I highly suggest, especially since we are in a Scorpio moon, is you want to go gentle. You want to go simple. You don't want it to throw you further out of alignment. You want to experience how this release is bringing you back in alignment, back into connection. So I talk about Alexis Raccoon. She's got this great end of the month journal questions. I've retooled them so that they're my full moon questions, because once again, a full moon's about taking it to the next level. What does Amy have written here? Amy has written here, full moon, igniting your power, bringing your dreams to life, cultivating your spirituality. Her affirmation is, I forgive myself and I forgive others. This is related also to the power chakra, because related to the power chakra is liver, and liver houses our anger. So when we're holding in unexpressed anger, unexpressed disappointment, we are creating muscle tension, and muscle tension releases toxic hormones that are good in the moment to save you in fight or flight, where you have to move beyond what you normally do in a short period of time for survival. But chronically, what is known as chronic stress, having those hormones fire off, creates a toxic buildup. So liver, that's why liver cleanses are popular. Once again, what I suggest is just getting one tincture. One liver cleanse tincture or dandelion. Very simple, under $20. If you can get an alcohol or glycerin base, and just take that every day until the summer solstice, and just see how it feels. Be in the flow, as opposed to coming in with a wrecking ball. I was going to color while I was doing this, and I'm talking with my hands. I'm color blocking the moon first. So the questions that I like that Alexis Raccoon has, and I've retooled these up for the full moon. So some wisdom I've soaked in. Now I'm going to share this with you. On my birthday, I did have a conversation with my dad, and I live in the States, and we live in a very politically polarized population right now. And so my family and I are on opposite ends of that pole in terms of values and focus and where we consume information about the world around us. And one of the things that came up for me in this full moon reading that I did for myself is that I was able to be present in this conversation with my father for the first time without jumping in and trying to soothe. I was still redirecting away from hot topics, let's say. I was redirecting away from things that I knew that there was no resolution, only lead to conflict. So there was a lot of learning in that conversation, and it always makes my birthday bittersweet because of the tension that there is with my family, being the black sheep. So what came to me is I'm no longer responsible for others' discomfort, and I release their weight of disappointment that I've been carrying. There was a part of me that always felt that there was just somehow, some way, there's enough therapy, there's enough this, enough that, enough awareness, whatever, where I would be able to convince my family that they have no need to be disappointed in me. Haha, right? So reflection, I have the question, I am grateful for what in April? And then for vision and intention, and I've been talking a lot with you guys because I've been fascinated with how just paring down the neurological repatterning focus of trauma when you pare it down to something as simple as when you're caught up in a trauma trance where you are doing something, your body's doing one thing, your emotions over here, and your brain's thinking a million tasks out, and your body's just being dragged along because you're leaning so heavy into this trust of your body, mind, memory ability. But at the same time, it's like a three-legged stool, and one of the legs is shorter than the other. You're cheating yourself by disregarding what your body needs. I cheat myself. So one of the ways I bring myself back from a trance is say, okay, where is my intention? What is it on? What is my intention of physically what I'm trying to do right now? And I bring my attention back to my intention. If my intention is to put the sugar away in the plastic bag and do the Ziploc, I bring my attention back to the sensation of the bag, the feel of the Ziploc under my fingers, and the tension of the rubber band around the sugar. We have to really close things up because we live in an RV and ants. All right. So under intention, one of the things that came up is why limit myself? And under important things, I have the seeds that I planted from the new moon, that from the oracle reading I did. And under goals, I have my big goal, which I've shared with you all that I have personally. It's so funny. I thought I was going to color block while doing this. Sometimes I can talk in color, sometimes I can't. But what I am planning on doing next is going in and doing all the green. Sometimes when I'm stuck on a color scheme, I do the obvious. And I did a little bit of light purple in the wisteria, and it smudged over here. So guess what? Chances are this border background is going to be like a purpley lavender because I fucked up. There's a smudge. So, I try not to get too down on myself about that. And let me just get my dog. Come here, baby boy. Oh, doggy doggy. Want to say hi? It's like, nope. He's like, that's just too weird. Okay. He's so patient with me. Both my chihuahuas are rescues. We really understand each other. Like there's a lemon. I know it's going to be a lemon pie. I know that I want the lilac. It's not wisteria. I know I want it lavender. I know I want to do the candles yellow to represent the power chakra and the light, the dantian. It was taught to me from my Tai Chi teacher, is that think of it as your spotlight, your focus, your it's like it's the engine. And where is the engine pointed? So a lot of times from waiting tables, my body would end up twisted. I'd be attention here, my intention over here, and I'm reaching over here, and it would just be like I was doing Twister, running a million things in my head. I was great at multitasking. After my brain injury, I had to break the habit of multitasking because it was actually making me very ill and was too much stress on my brain and nervous system. And this is one of the ways I do it. So I had to learn how to rebuild my power after my brain injury. I was very weak, literally, physically. I was emotionally and mentally weak. I was in fear. I was disappointed. I was scared. And after my mom died, it was like, okay, it's either now or never. That I do this deeper, committed day-to-day work on my own, not only physical trauma, but emotional trauma from childhood. And for me to do it every day, I wasn't going to commit to something that bore the fuck out of me. So this is it. I show up every day because I love to do something creative in color. I show up every day willing to ask those deeper questions and make the adjustments. So once again, the moon, igniting your power. So looking at like yourself, you can do a list of, this is my boos in life, my top 3 things that are shit right now, my top 3 yays, and adjust and go in and see where you can fine tune. How are you using your power?